Well, hello, Women of the Channel Leadership Network community. I am Jackie Rives, your community leader. Today, welcome to another Wow Woman of the Week. And I'm so excited to introduce you to Marie Ashway, Director of Marketing, Mainline Information Systems. Hello, Marie, and thank you for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Jackie. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
The pleasure is mine. I am so excited to get to know you. So let's start off with a couple of easy questions. So where do you live now? And if it's different, where did you grow up?
It's very different. So I live in Florida now. I'm in Southwest Florida. And I've been here for about 10 years or so, something like that. But I grew up, I was born and raised in New York on Long Island. So I was a Long Island girl, big hair, back in the day. Yeah. So, but moved around a little bit from there. I spent quite a bit of time in Connecticut as well. I did 2 rounds to Florida. So I did Florida, back north, and then back to Florida again.
So do you miss the weather at all?
No.
I suspected that was going to be your answer.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But truth be told, I do like the summers in the Northeast, and we do still spend our summers in the Northeast. So, but we spend our home is here in Florida.
I love that. Marie, if you want to, would you like to share a little known fact about you?
Oh, interesting. Little known fact. So I mentioned that we spend our summers in the Northeast. So I do that on a boat. So we have a boat that we actually keep in Connecticut, and that's our home from May through like end of September. So 4 months every year, we're living on a boat.
That is very cool. I love that. All right, let's dive in there and give the listeners what they want to know. So tell me about your career path and how you reached this position you have today.
So I started out, and this is another little known fact, perhaps for some people, I started out actually as a developer in an IBM lab in Boca Raton, Florida. So I was a programmer, and I worked in a performance group doing things like running benchmarks and measuring code and writing code and playing what if games so I could find patterns and results. A lot of people don't know that about me, but I was technical. But then I found that I liked people better than machines. So I moved into a sales engineering position and then into sales. And now here I am in marketing.
Very cool. It sounds like maybe, do you do puzzles now in your...
I do.
Like it could be something you would be interested in.
I do. I do. I spend a lot of time, not a lot of time, but I do. I like, crossword puzzles and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so I still do that. But I have, a grasp for what coding is all about. Now, granted, it's changed so much, and I would never even imagine about diving in now into today's world of coding because it's so different. But I do have an appreciation for what that's all about. And I used to like it. But here I am now, leading marketing.
That is so interesting. What is the most important risk you took and why? And maybe what was the outcome?
Oh, so when I think about that, I was with IBM for 24 and a half years. And I was in pretty much direct sales and sales leadership roles. And I decided to take a risk, and I wanted to move to the channel. And I needed a change. I needed and wanted to work in an environment where I felt I had more direct impact on results. Working for a very large company like IBM has its benefits, and I very much enjoyed working at IBM, but it's hard to satisfy your need for feeling like you're making an impact. So my move to Mainline was so refreshing. It re-energized me and gave me many different opportunities to experience different aspects of the business. I started out in sales management when I first went to Mainline, but I spent some time also in our services organization. I ran our project management office for a while, and I knew nothing about true project management, but I learned. Then I teamed up with a small group of these really great ladies at Mainline, and we developed some sales enablement tools and an education program that still runs today. And again, I had to learn. So all along, I felt like my move to the channel and moving to a smaller company gave me more of the ability to kind of reinvent myself all along the course of the years that I've been doing that, and always learning something new. And so here I am, like I said, here I am leading a marketing organization. And I had to learn that too. I did not know a whole bunch about marketing when I was asked to, join in and take the leadership role of this great team. So it's always a learning experience, but it's been great.
I love that you shared that, just so our listeners understand that, it's totally normal to step into something that you maybe weren't planning on. And like what you learn in one area can totally help support you and your growth in a completely different area, because all of these pieces come together, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think by learning different areas of a business, I think it allows you to number one, appreciate the other aspects of the business, but number two, gives you the more overall global reach, if you will, of what makes the engine tick inside of a company. So it's been a great experience for me, and I very much appreciate the opportunity that I've had being able to experience the different roles.
Well, awesome. Okay, well, let's pivot from there and talk about who are some individuals who inspired you in your journey?
So the first person that comes to mind, it was a man named Joe. And very early in my career at IBM, I worked for a man named Joe, and he used to have this expression, and he used to say, I work for Marie, she does not work for me. And that has stuck with me over these years. And I like to think that now I work for my team, they don't work for me. So yeah, so he definitely inspired me and inspired my leadership style from way back when, even before I ever even knew I was going to be a leader.
I love that. Well,
let me just pop in with one more thing if I can too.
So, because
there's
I feel like you had some more there.
I did. There's another person who also inspired and continues to inspire me. And it's my daughter Christina, who started out as a culinary and hospitality management person. That's what she was schooled in. That's what she started working in her career. And then she turned IT. So I actually wound up hiring her into Mainline, and many people are unaware of that, but I needed a marketing specialist, and she jumped right in, and she too had to reinvent herself, and she had to learn, and she had to take a risk. And for that, she inspires me.
I love that. I love that. So you're probably, well, let me just say, she probably saw that in you and saw you taking all these risks, changing roles, changing, what her passions were. She's watching you change that and, leading you to where you are today. So it was probably, natural in some ways. Yes, don't want to minimize her risk from culinary to marketing. That's a big change.
A little bit of a change.
So great that she had you to help her along with that journey, and that you guys are both, I believe, inspiring each other in that sense.
And it's funny, and I'd laugh, and I wish I could find this picture. I would show it to you, but I remember when she was a little girl, one of her Halloween costumes was she was like me. And she wore like my suit, and she carried my briefcase, and she was like, her Halloween thing was like, she was like an IBM salesperson.
I love it. That's awesome. Oh, you should have that like on the refrigerator for life.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I think so. So yeah, and we still joke around. We still joke around, and we have this thing about an apple and a tree, and we always kid around about the apple not falling far from the tree and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so I think we inspire each other.
That's amazing. I absolutely love that. I have two daughters, so I definitely can see how that journey has been just really amazing for you, both of you.
Absolutely.
All right. What characteristics do you possess that make you an effective leader?
Well, I think, and this is going to kind of go back to all these different roles that I've had over the years. I think having all of those roles, now granted, I've always worked in IT, like I was not in culinary, right? So I've always been, like, since day one, I went to school for computer science and programmer and this and that, always been in IT. But I think having so many different roles in the industry over the years has really helped me to learn what's important to different people. So I think I'm empathetic. I think I understand people. I know what is likely important to them. It helps me communicate with people in different roles. So if I'm talking with, let's say, some of our subject matter experts, or I'm talking with somebody over in our services organization, or somebody in a sales role, I've been there, right? I've done it. So I kind of know what's making them tick. So I think that's helped. I think that helps a lot. And I think that helps to make me an effective leader for them. And then I think, and I've also have mentioned this, I'm not afraid to try new things, right? So I'm always willing to try something new. I'm always willing to learn something new. So I think as that, I'm supportive with my team. If they want to try something new, it's like, yeah, let's make sure it makes sense for us. Obviously, we're not just a bunch of cowboys out here, but yeah, but let's go try something new, right? I also will say in that I'm a roll up your sleeves kind of person. So I like to just dive in. I not only just do I manage or lead the team, but I have tasks, right? I'm doing stuff. I'm creating copy some days. I'm actually sitting writing copy. So there's things that I do when it needs to be done, but I don't mind it. I like to dive in. I like to roll up my sleeves. And I like to make suggestions. I will ask my team to collaborate and make the decision, but I like to make suggestions. And the last thing that I thought of as I was thinking about this question is I smile a lot.
That's a good quality.
I smile a lot, and I love to laugh, and I try to do that. I think people need to smile more. I think people need to laugh more. Just it makes any task you're doing more enjoyable. Any situation you're in, it makes it easier. So yeah, so I think that's a big part of it too.
That's so true. So true. I am going to add something, and I've known you for 10 minutes, but I think your authenticity makes you a good leader as well. Because you came here today, you are sharing, yourself with, 5,000 of our closest friends in the community. And telling them, like, it's okay if you don't have it all figured out. It's okay as long as you're open to learn and learn from your mistakes, learn new skills, pivot where you need to pivot, come to your leader, discuss it with them, see what makes sense to roadmap, all of these things that you have said to me today. And I am sure your team values you greatly for all of these amazing things about you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. But yeah, I definitely I'd like to leave that message, if anything, with all our friends here, that always try something new. Don't be afraid, jump in and just do it, because what's the worst that could happen, right? The worst that can happen is you learn something, and even if it was a mistake, or that's okay. because we learn from our mistakes, and that's how we grow. So that's the one thing, if anything, I would leave with people is just don't be afraid to try something new.
Yeah, I had a mentor tell me once, like, if you're not making mistakes, you're not really trying. So,
Yeah.
and that kind of stuck with me, but that's to what you just said. I mean, amazing. I love it. So I hear I might get to meet you in person. You're going to be at Women of the Channel East.
Yes, I'm looking
So
forward to that. Very much so.
I'm very excited about that. I love the opportunity to meet people that I get to interview virtually. And I'm always shocked at how tall they are or not so, or
I'm not so tall.
I'm not either. So make sure, everyone, that when you see Marie, thank her for giving her time today. And you made a new friend. You made two friends. So make sure you come see us both out there. With that, thank you so much, Marie, for your time today and just sharing your authentic self with our community. It's leaders that like you that give us all an opportunity to see, grow, and try to apply these things that our wonderful Women of the Week have shared with us.
You are welcome. Thank you again.
All right, community, that was it for today. We hope you have a wonderful Wednesday, and we cannot wait to see you at East.